In the heart of the city, where dreams come alive, B-Wap's on the mic with that fire in his eyes. From the court to the field, every game, every fight, he's the voice of the struggle under stadium lights. He's seen the highs and the lows, the wins and the pain, every triumph and tear, every loss in the rain. But through it all, he stands tall, never backs down, with a heart full of love for this sports-loving town. Sports talk we watch, where the passion runs deep. Every story, every glory, every promise we keep. From the love of the game.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? How y'all doing out there tonight? Sports Talk with B. Watts. I'm your host, Bernard Watts. I want to thank all of you for tuning in tonight. Do me a favor as you come in. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. And hit that bell notification. It'll let you know whenever we go live or drop a video during the week. I come to you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And also on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Saturday, I come to you at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. If you're a business owner or if you know anyone that have a business that want to partner with Sports Talk with B. Watts in advertising and sponsorship, give us a call or contact me. The information is going to stroll at the bottom of the screen if you don't mind. All right. Now we're getting ready to talk about Coach Prime and the Colorado Pro Day. Right? The team is on spring break. Ain't too much going on, so we're gonna talk about some of the players that getting ready for their pro day. Players like Jimmy Horn, players like Cameron Silmon-Craig, players like Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, LaJohntay Wester, Sheppard, BJ Green, and Shiloh Bully, and many more. Mate, the punter, we're going to give them all a little shine tonight. But in order for us to do that, I got two guys that good at what they do, and they're going to give you some good information that you can bet on. All right? So let's bring the guys up. That's Uncle Steve as the maestro. And we're going to bring on JR Box. What's going on, fellas?
What's going on, B. Watts, JR? Chat group, what's up?
B. Watts, what's happening? What's happening? Uncle Steve, what's happening? Everybody in that chat, what's up now? Hopefully everybody had a good and blessed, productive day.
Yep. I did, man. I really did, bro. I really did. Let's get this thing up. All right. Once again, I want to say hello to everybody in the chat. I'm not ignoring you. What's going on, Sabrina? How you doing? Patrick Williams, what's going on? Debbie, how you doing? Miss Foster, what's good? Coach Dre, what's up, bro? You all right? Miss Barbara Fox, how you doing? Miss V, appreciate you. Son of Yahweh, thank y'all so kind. Appreciate y'all present tonight. Colorado Pro Day is scheduled for, let's see, April the 4th. And it's going to be aired and televised on NFL Network. Now, when it comes to this pro day, there's one player that I think, it's just me, got a chance to dominate. I mean, put his name out there on the map. And that's the wide receiver, Jimmy Horn Jr. Be watch why you saying Jimmy Horn Jr. can dominate. Because if you go back and look at the Big 12 Pro Day, if you go back and look at the Combine, a lot of people put Jimmy Horn's name out there running a 4.3 and a high 4.2, but he ended up running a 4.4. That has some people looking crazy, kind of has some people looking, man, what's going on? But I'm telling you right now, if Jimmy Horn Jr. take advantage of this opportunity and go out there and run that 4.3 this time, boss, it's going to be some eye-opening. It's going to be some people looking at Jimmy Horn Jr. in a different way. Well, let's go back and look at the Gallup performance that he put on that comment. Yeah. When I look at Jimmy Horn Jr. and the way he moves and his skill set on this platform, ain't no defenders. It's just him and that ball. When you look at Jimmy Horn Jr., is he's the player that you can see dominate this event? Or just give me something about Jimmy Horn Jr. Let me tell you some of his stats before you start. This past season, he caught 37 passes, 441 yards, and 1 touchdown. He was injured the last 2 games. 2023, 58 catches, 567 yards, 6 TD. Those ain't kind of the numbers that help him get drafted, but his skill set, punt return, kickoff return, speed, special team. When you look at Jimmy Horn, what can he do in this pro day that help him get drafted?
I think what Jimmy Horn can do in his pro day is show up and show out. When you talked about the stats, hey, the stats are the stats. He was kind of injured throughout the year, so productivity, I'm sure he wanted his productivity as an individual football player to be better. But you got to show up and show out. I mean, when you look at Jimmy, I kind of attribute him to being like one of those workout warriors, right? A guy that run really fast, lift a lot of weights, agile, can, got a good burst on him, in and out of cuts and things like that. So I think that's what Jimmy Horn will probably display at the Colorado Pro Day. Run really fast, jump really high, get a better broad jump, things like that to just show his overall athleticism. Because at his size and his weight compared to his stats, like you have to be extraordinary. And so if you're not extraordinary in the eyes of the NFL, like, hey, we could find somebody else to do that kind of thing. So I think this pro day for Jimmy Horn will be more so of an opportunity for him to just better showcase his athleticism. And like I said, run really fast, jump really high, and improve on some of those combine stats for sure.
Talk to him, Steve.
Mr. Horn just needs to do what he always does. He needs to go in there, handle his business with his agility, his speed, his quickness, his jumping ability. And when you show all those attributes and then his positive attitude, when you show all those attributes and he has all that film and he has the film to back it up, the key for Jimmy is this. Jimmy just needs to get on a team. Once he gets on the team, then you're going to see the difference between Jimmy and other NFL players. I'm going to give you an example. If Jimmy was on the Kansas City Chiefs team, other than that one guy that they have, that speedster Worthy, it's a different ball game because it ramps up what you can do on offense with Mahomes. Now defensive players got to step back. They can't be coming up to that line to stop the run and then dictate what Kansas City does. and it would alleviate that tight end Kelsey. So that's all I'm saying. He just needs to get on a team, and you are going to see that he's a difference maker. And being a difference maker, I don't care what you say. When a team sees that you have speed, they find a spot for you in the NFL. And that's all Jimmy needs to do. Availability is the best ability.
All right, let's pick up what Steve said, JR. I like everything he said. When you look at Jimmy Horn Jr., what key position on a team you would like to see him start at if drafted?
A key position, I think he'll be a good contributor in a special teams kind of situation. Somebody that can, get open in space and showcase his speed. If I compare him to like players in the NFL, I would look at him, more recently like a Tank Dell in Houston, or McCole Hardman that he previously played for Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know what team he played for this year. But two guys like that, not a big frame, not a big stature, but they contributed special teams early, especially for McCole Hardman coming out of Georgia. He contributed in special teams early. Then he kind of moved to a slot kind of situation, but that'll probably be more fitting for Jimmy Horn, special teams, and then maybe a slot position in the NFL.
It's going to be special teams. If he plans on being a difference maker, it's going to be on the special teams aspect of it. Because what you have to realize, the people that they're paying the big money to, they don't want to do special teams. Your big-time receiver, they don't want to do no special teams. They don't want to take them hits. So it takes players like Jimmy to get on there and make their way on the team. Because if you look at it, the Dallas Cowboys went and got somebody in the XFL, and Turnip or whatever his name, number 9. And that gentleman, they laughed. Everybody was laughing. And now he's a stalemate on that Dallas Cowboy team because of the plays he can make. That creates points on the board when you can do that in special teams. And the key is going to be this one here. Teams want players for cheap, and they're going to do everything they can to get a player like Jimmy Horn for cheap. But it's Jimmy's advantage of saying, hey, if you're not going to draft me in the top 5, let me go undrafted. That way he can pick his team. Then after 2 years, boom, he can go and say, hey, now you got to pay me. Everybody else is going to be under contract or players' options, and they can't do that. So those are things that they need to look at. But special teams is where he needs to go at. Back to you, B. Watts.
All right, let's take it. Stay right there. Steve makes some good point. JR, Jimmy Horn Jr. in this pro day, which event that he performed he should excel at? 40, the gallop, or the high jump?
I'll probably say the 40. Again, for his size, height, and weight kind of thing, like you want a guy in that size. You want a guy to run fast. Now, I'm not saying what he ran at the combine is slow by any means. 4.46 is a very respectable time. But when you look at measurables, like it's a measurable thing, and you compare him to other guys in the NFL, his height, his weight, they start to look at their times. Okay, what did that guy run? Or that guy ran 4.38, 4.39. Okay, so we need to get a player like that can fit that role at a cheaper pace. So at a cheaper rate. So I think the 40 would probably be the most important thing for Jimmy.
To me, I want to see him in the gallop, and the reason why is because that's actual football, which you're going to actually be doing in a game, and they want to see what kind of speed you have doing those kind of routes and running those depth within those limits there. You have to understand you can run fast. Okay. If you go in the NFL, you have very few people in the NFL running 4.3s, 4.2s. People act like that's normal. You don't have that many people doing it. It's very rare. So when you're running 4.4s, that's fantastic, because when you look at it, you can name me any team. We can go through any team, and what you're going to see, their receivers ain't that fast. I can go through quite a few teams. It ain't like they got burners. What they got people who can run routes, and they can run routes in space like a LaJohntay, put them in a phone booth. I can give you an example, the LA Rams. LA Rams ain't got no people with no 4.3s, 4.2s, but all they do is produce receivers that can put up 12, 13, 1,400-yard seasons. So all I'm saying is that Gallup to me would be the determination, because if you get the right coach like a McVay, look what he does. He brought three receivers, and he didn't got them paid. So with that being said, that's what I would pick. And it's back to you, BY.
JR, before we move on, last take on Jimmy Horn. Do you see Jimmy Horn Jr. getting drafted and what round in your eyesight?
I can see Jimmy being drafted, maybe sixth round, somewhere around there, a day 3 type of guy. So 6th round to undrafted, actually. So, but I would love to hear his name be called. So if it were to be called, it would probably be around the 6th round, in my opinion.
Hey, B. Watts, I didn't hear the question, sir. It's breaking up on my end.
I said, in your eyesight, last take on Jimmy Horn, what round do you think he will be drafted in if drafted?
Honestly, I think Jimmy, if he's going to be drafted, he's going to be drafted between the 5th and the 7th round. And the reason I say that is because a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, all they do is steal receivers. They're going to go up there and they're going to look and they're going to go as far as they can, and then they'll pick up a Jimmy Horn, because that way money is everything. You got a salary cap, and people don't realize. They're like, oh, no, it means something. If I can get you for dirt cheap, I'm going to get you for dirt cheap. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at 5th through 7th round if you get drafted. Back to you, B. Watts.
All right, fellas. Appreciate your takes on Jimmy Horn. We're moving on to LaJohntay Wester. All right. When you look at LaJohntay Wester, right? The dude coming in at 5'11", 167 pounds. He's from the state of Florida. This past season, he had 74 catches, 931 yards, and a total of TDs. The year for that, from where he came from, the dude caught 108 passes, almost 1,200 yards, and 8 TDs. He got film. He got a history. He got everything. And when you look at him play, I'm sure if I'm not even a scout, and I know that, and I know they know he's a baller. He was a baller before he got to Colorado. Check this out.
Hey West, you came back for the first time. I love your hustle. That's why I gave you a 4. Running around, you were physical out there. You were thugging. Yeah.
Oh, my bad. I hit the wrong one. I'm scared of myself. Look at the move. He was open. Quarterback just hit him, JR. JR, talk to us about LaJohntay Wester. What can he do to take advantage of this pro day and get drafted?
Man, I don't think there's much more LaJohntay has to do to take advantage of the pro day, honestly, B. Watts. I mean, you just mentioned the stats. Over the past 2 years, we're talking about 182 balls being caught over 2 programs. That's a lot of receptions. We're looking at close to 2,000 yards between those 2 universities as well. So the production is there. The film is there. The tape is there. He went to the NFL Combine. He ran a great time for himself. He measured, taller than Jimmy, kind of thing, which surprised me. If you look at it, or the videos, it look like Jimmy is taller, but LaJohntay is actually taller than Jimmy. So I think LaJohntay, I don't think he has really much more to gain from the pro day for Colorado. Great in space, great route runner, lightning quick, quick in a bottle type of thing, however that phrase goes. But I don't think he has to do anything extra. I think he's in a good place. LaJohntay is in a very good place to be drafted this upcoming NFL draft.
You hit on a little bit for me, LaJohntay.
Well, I have to agree with you, JR, with your analysis. And the reason I'm agreeing with you is this one here. He's a proven player. He is a proven player. He's right. Durable. Somebody durable. I heard Northside, he put durability. he's played his seasons. He has played. He not only has he played, he's performed. What the next thing I like about the man is this here. He gets open and he makes big plays. He has film with big plays. I'm talking about game tying touchdowns. I'm talking about game winning touchdowns. He makes plays. And the beauty about it is this one here. He's done it at he's done it at different levels. He's done it at a lower level. Then he came up and he's increased himself by doing it at that level. The next thing you got to do is, I think what set him in stone is this here. When they went to that, East, West, or whatever they went to that camp, he separated himself as a route runner. He had a few catches that I wish he would have got back. But if you got separation the way he was doing, I'm sure he opened some eyes. And the next thing you have with that young man is this one here. His IQ, his leadership, and what you also have with that, he is a dog and he wants it. He's the type of player, and and not only saying that, he's a special teams kind of guy too. So not only will you get him as a very good receiver, you're going to get him as a special teams for nothing. And then it turns around your organization where you can go, let me explain salary cap. Now I can cut a receiver that I'm paying 10, 11, or $12 million to, pick LaJohntay up, and I'm paying LaJohntay $1.5 million or $2 million. That salary cap is something else, and he'll be doing the same thing, and I got him under contract for 4 years. So he is a team's dream, especially if you're the Cowboys, who are horrible on that when it comes to the doggone that salary cap. He is a dream because you can get him. He does multiple things, and you don't have to pay him. Back to you, B. Watts.
Good point, Steve. Man, I didn't look at it like that, but boy, when you seeing these players getting shipped out and getting traded, they making room. They letting the wide receivers know, hey, yeah, you can go on DJ Metcalf. I don't want to deal with that salary. I take my chance on Jim Horn Jr., Will Sheppard. So when you look at that, JR, trying to pick out what Jim said about that salary cap, what's your take on that salary cap and moving players around so you can get another player in the draft that more cheaper?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's business, man. The NFL is such a business situation. Why play someone that can do, something very, very well and handicap a team, right? When we can get 2 to 3 players in that same salary that could, contribute to the team over multiple facets. Obviously, I mean, the top dogs of the league, they deserve to be paid. That's why they top dogs. I mean, they should be paid accordingly. But when you're looking at business, when you're looking at the salary cap of the NFL, when you're looking at handicapping a team when it comes to overpaying or overreaching or extending that NFL purse that they have, they're looking to bring in guys that can do it cheaper. We need a guy that can do it cheaper. We can get a guy that can do it cheaper. That's called great business. And that's why a lot of those GMs, they stick around for a long time and they're very productive. I mean, you look at the Philadelphia Eagles GM, Howie, I think his name is Howie Roseman or something like that. I mean, he's doing a phenomenal job of doing it. They drafted young cornerbacks and then they shipped out one of Darius Slay. They shipped him out. Hey, man, look, thank you for helping us win. Go get your money somewhere elsewhere. Because they brought in guys like Cooper DeJean and the other guy, I forget his name. I think it's Quillen or something like that. But they brought those guys in pretty much cheaper rate. They could do what you can do, if not better. And we're going to be successful with them doing it that way. So that's how it works, B. Watts.
Hey, that's good take, fellas. I appreciate y'all rocking tonight. Boy, y'all done your homework, look like. Hey, y'all watching Sports Talk with B. Watts, was one of the 2 best analysts on podcast. That's Uncle Steve and JR Boxing. And y'all do us a favor and hit that like button if you don't mind. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate it if you do. Well, here's the question for the chat, JR and Uncle Steve. When we look at the final stage of LaJohntay Wester, the way he can put himself on notice, at CU Pro Day, what round, what pick do you or would you like to see LaJohntay pick that? Start me off, chat. What round do you expect LaJohntay to be drafted in? And if you want to put a team down there, go ahead and do that also. But JR, what round?
Man, look, I think LaJohntay could probably be one of those, maybe a late day 2 guy or maybe an early day 3 guy. So somewhere between the 4th round, 5th round, somewhere around there. Because like I said, the productivity is there. We spoke about it. Productivity is there. And if I were to pick a team, come on down to Houston, man. Look, Tank Dell got hurt. Come to Houston. Stephon Diggs just signed with the Patriots. Come on down to Houston. Come play with C.J. Stroud, somebody that can get you the ball, and then you'll be able to play in some open space with our new offensive coordinator that came from L.A. So I think that's a great destination for you, LaJohntay, the Houston Texans, and I'm going to say about the 4th or the 5th round.
JR, you smoking. I'm going to say myself, if I'm going to look at him, because of his productivity, because of his tape, because of his durability that I'm looking at, and because of the fact that he can do it all for a team, and plus he can play special teams, I'm going to go late round 3 through 5. I'm going to go 3 through 5. He'll be a steal. And he'll be a steal because of the simple fact of this one here. You got teams out there, if you look and see what receivers are making right now, receivers are putting themselves out of business. Because if you're looking at a receiver that you're going to have to put up more, $10 million a pop, $10 million a year for those receivers, and I'm talking about these are ones that just average. You could be putting up $7 to $30 million a year. And if you're looking at that, and I'm looking at a team, and I got a guy like LaJohntay, I can see the Pittsburgh Steelers because that's one organization that takes chances and they evaluate receivers. If the Pittsburgh Steelers is looking at you, I don't care who you are, it lets me know that you're a good receiver because they evaluate receivers well. Another team that I can definitely see him with is the LA Rams. The LA Rams evaluate receivers well because they get people that people don't like. Who is Cooper Kupp? Who is that other boy? Whatever his name is.
Puka Nacua.
Puda. Yeah. I call him Puda. You know, it's people you don't even think about, and you're like, man, all they do is produce. So what we need to be asking is, how good are the evaluators? Because they're missing on a whole lot. They're going for school instead of production and talent, and that's a problem. A lot of people get drafted because of what school they went to and not their productivity and things that they can actually bring to a team. So with LaJohntay, what we're gonna see is this one here. I can put it this way. Some team might trade up to get LaJohntay because they're gonna get a buzz going. We're gonna get a player with a buzz going, and somebody's gonna come up and make sure that they get LaJohntay Wester. Back to you, B-Watch.
You might have a point there, Steve. Boy, you cooking tonight, boy. You and JR both. Y'all cooking tonight, but I think he's still at the draft, y'all. I just do. With the way he can run his route, the quickness, the shiftness. I know a lot of people gonna pin his size on him, but still, like y'all saying, I think Pittsburgh still gonna take a chance on him. That's the team I'm looking at. They good at getting a wide receivers because they already got Pickett. That's got DJ, 2 big wide receivers. Now they need a slot receiver. And LaJohntay, he fit the mold. He just fit the mold. And I think that's what I believe that's where he's going. And he's going to go. To be the steal of the draft, you got to be a 3rd round pick. He's going to be in that 3rd or the 5th round. That's just my belief. Don't know. But if he can get in there, that's a good pick for him, his family, and Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffaloes, because he'll have that on his record when he get ready to do recruiting and look at players that coming out of that transfer portal. Hey, I got a wide receiver other than Travis Hunter drafted in the 3rd round, in the early round, and he's going to make a way for his family. So that's why I see LaJohntay, he just still at the draft. All right, fellas, appreciate it. Moving on. All right, Next person is Travis Hunter. Travis Hunter is a Heisman Trophy winner. People don't want to realize that. They forgetting that. He should be the #1 pick. And I'm telling you right now, a lot of people don't want him to play both ways, Steve. But when I look at football players, JR, they start off in middle school. Then they play a position in high school. Well, how can you get to the next level if you was a quarterback or a wide receiver, defensive back? How can I get to the college? How can I get me a scholarship? I'm showing you what I can do. Coach Prime offered him a scholarship. Right? He played both ways. When you look at the players in college, Steve, what do NFL scouts look at them? What position? They look at them what position they play, right? So if Travis is demonstrating he can play at that position, why not give him a chance? He played both ways in college. Why you don't think he can do it in the pros? Dan Marino played quarterback in college. What did he do when he went to the pros? Okay, that didn't tickle your fancy. Let me come at you like this then. You don't want to get with me, JR? Let me get with you like this. Michael Vick played quarterback. He played quarterback for the Virginia Tech, and he was left-handed. They drafted him as a left-handed quarterback at Atlanta Falcons. Okay, you still ain't feeling it. Let me come at you this way then. Emmitt Smith. Okay, you got me then. Okay, he wasn't running back. All right, then. So when you look at Travis Hunter, Uncle Steve, talk to me about the highs. Because people don't, the big networks keep trying to put him in a box, but I can't figure out why. People like Cam Newton, Stephen A. Listen, Cam Newton was Cam Newton in Auburn.
Huh?
They drafted him to be Cam Newton in Charlotte. So, Steve, you tell me about Travis Hunter.
Well, this is what I'm going to tell you about Travis Hunter. He's not just the Heisman Trophy winner. He's the reigning Heisman Trophy winner. He is the man with the plan. And what you also have with Travis Hunter is this one here. You have a young man that with him, he's competitive. He has a high IQ. He has the quickness when it pertains to getting out of breaks and being able to make cuts. He has, when it comes to, he has the agility and he's durable. People like, well, he was the hits that he took, it didn't make a difference who you were. You were going to be injured on those hits. I don't care who you were when you got hit in the liver and things like that. That's an injury anybody's going to take you. It's just you just have to be you just have to be safe when you're going over and doing those routes. Now with Travis, you have special qualities about this young man. B-Watch, you're saying you made the statement. Why is it that they won't allow him to do it? The reason is simple. They've never seen it before. It's not normal for them. And what you have to realize for human beings is this. If they haven't seen something before and they can't see it through their eyes, because Coach Prime got faith and Coach Prime believes. So when you have faith, that means that you believe in something. Even if you don't see it, you still believe in it, and you know in your know that it's real. And with Travis is this way. Travis handles his business. Two ways mean nothing to me, but this does. Look at his productivity. He ranks in the top 5 as a receiver in all of college football. Top 5. You look at his yards and look at everything else. Look at his yards, touchdowns, everything else. As a receiver, he's ranking in the top 5. Look at that defensive back as far as his coverage and everything else. He ranks there. He would rank there in the top 3 when it comes to everything else, when it comes to DB. That's productivity. Something else you have with Travis Hunter is this one here. We didn't even see him on special teams, which I don't even want to see him on special teams because I don't want to open him up for injuries when you have a player that special. This is what you have with Travis Hunter. He brings fear on that football field. You're not too much going to his side. So what he does for you, he brings a whole toughness and a whole different aspect of your football team in which you might not be guarding that left or right side that he's on. And he's a playmaker. He could be called a playmaker himself because when Travis is on the field, if the ball touches his hand on offense or defense, that's a problem. He can take it to the house for 6. So this is a special kind of player. They haven't seen him before. They are not comfortable with it. That's not like Coach. I tell people, it's just like Coach Prime. They're not comfortable with Coach Prime, but they're getting comfortable. They're getting comfortable because they're seeing that he's doing things that a lot of other people haven't done. And with that being said, Travis, it's ready. And he's going to be the one that takes the two-way to a different level. Back to you, B. Watts.
Talk to him, JR, about Travis.
Yeah, look, I agree with mostly everything Uncle Steve said. What I think about when I think about Travis, one, to answer the question, what would he have to do at the pro day? Travis wouldn't have to do anything at the pro day. Look, he already got enough tape. It's out there. You don't have to do nothing. Anything Travis does at the pro day could, hinder. It could make him fall from a potential number 1 pick to a number 3 or 4 or 5 pick, something like that. So he wouldn't have to do anything at the pro day. Now, if he wants to go out and show a team like, hey, I'm actually a 4.48 guy or something like that and run the 40, then great, go out there and do that. But ultimately, I don't think he has to do anything. He has enough tape out there. When it comes to playing both sides of the football in the NFL, I think he would ultimately have to go to a team that can manage that the best way, because Travis will be as successful as a team wants him to be when it gets to the NFL. When you think about it, playing cornerback and then go out and playing wide receiver and things like that, a team would have to manage that. Same way Coach Prime managed that. Allow him to take care of his body through the week. Allow him to be, taken care of when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. If you just stick him on the island with Tyreek Hill and Tyreek Hill just running go ball after go ball after go ball, and then expect, Travis Hunter to then come in on offense and be ultra productive on offense, that's probably something that's not going to happen. But what a team could do is, hey, we'll put you in zone coverage. You're going to be on the field, but we'll shade zone coverage over. Things that could help him at the next level to keep his body fresh throughout the game. And then another thing about the NFL, they have less plays than the college game, right? So in the college game, I go back to the TCU game last year, he played over 100 and something snaps. It was like 117 snaps, something like that. That's not happening in the NFL. The turnover on actual snaps and things like that, the NFL pace is a much slower pace when it comes to game style and things like that. So ultimately, the organization, in my opinion, would have to manage Travis and what he can do on the field. Like I said, we're not going to have you covering Tyreek Hill and he just running go balls on you. And then we get you out there and then we expecting you yourself to go run a go ball. It's not going to go like that. So they'll be able to manage him. They'll be able to manage his pitch count, his snap count, however you want to call it. But a team would have to be open to that because he showed you he could do it. Look, in Colorado, we were upset that all they ran was man. Like, man, all y'all run is man defense? That's it. And then he would then turn around and come right back on the field and have 3 to 4 catches each drive. So he's showing you that he can do it. He didn't give you any indication that he can't do it. So he could do it. Will the NFL organization be open to allowing him to do that and taking care of him the right way so he can do that? Because the NFL is more mental than physical. Like, it's a physical game, but it's more mental. So that's what I say about Travis, but he can do it. I mean, he showed us he could do it. Back to you, B. Watts.
Okay. All right, chat. All right, chat. Talk to me, chat. What pick? What round? Y'all see Travis Hunter getting drafted in? Start it off, JR.
This is the easiest question of the night. Come on now. We know he's going first round. And if he might just go number 1 to Tennessee. So I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say the first round, B. Watts. And then you didn't ask me what pick. You just said, where you going. So I'm first round. That's the easiest question of the night. Thanks, B. Watts.
B. Watts, that is too easy. This is Lionel Richard right here. Easy like a Sunday morning. With that being said, I'm going to put it to you this way. He's going to go in the first round. It's some stuff going on with the Giants picking up Russ today. It's some stuff going on. So with that being said, I'm looking at him at 1 through 3 getting drafted for Mr. Travis. And somebody's coming up being like, okay, we're going to have a quarterback taken care of. We're going to take Travis. So it's going to be and I wouldn't be surprised if it's not the Giants. If it's not the Giants coming up there to pick him up. So we're going to see. You got what I see is probably going to be old Cleveland. Like, Lord have mercy. Cleveland, you're going to probably Cleveland or something. But he's going to be in the top 3 pick. And we'll take it from there. And it's going to be a blessing wherever he goes because his attitude and what he brings to the game, he can change a franchise around just by that. And other players are definitely going to want to be a part of that because it's special. Back to you, B.Y.
Yeah, I didn't want to put you out there too far, JR, to get yourself hung on a rope. And then we come back and clip the video and play it and say, okay, y'all see what JR said. Then, he got a history of being wrong. Remember, the key word is history. Google me. Yeah, I think Travis gonna be the first 2 pick. I bet see Shedeur going to Cleveland with all these quarterbacks getting traded and people signing. I kept trying to tell people that he wasn't going to. He ain't going to New York. New York got a different plan than what we want. Get your personal feelings out, please. We got to take our personal feelings out this stuff. Well, all right, let's move on. That's another day. Next player. All right, let's see who got Will Sheppard. Who else had Will Sheppard? All right, looking at Will Sheppard, wide receiver, J.R. Boxing. When you look at Will Sheppard, the tall man, he's good in the red zone. He could be a sneaky draft pick. Got the New Orleans Saints have reported it. I clipped it, but I didn't upload it. They invited him to a workout, pro day workout. So it's going to be interesting to see where do Will Sheppard fit in this NFL draft. But in this pro day that's coming up for Colorado, what do Will Sheppard need to display to you to let you know that he's worthy of a draft pick?
I would say definitely run a faster time in that 40. I know speed isn't everything, but run a faster time for sure. It was a little disappointing to see, his time. I can't remember, but I want to say it was 4.6 something around there. So run a faster time for sure. And then do the gauntlet drill. He had some drop issues throughout the year, things like that. So just be sure-handed as far as when it comes to catching the ball and things like that. But he would definitely need to run a better time. I mean, Will Sheppard of all, he has the prototypical like NFL, size when you think about a receiver. So he had great productivity as a number 3 receiver. He was the number 3 receiver and still, brought in 48 catches, almost 600 and something, 600 plus yards, something like that. And I think he had about 6 or 7 TDs. So from a number 3 position, he put up some great productivity. So run a faster time, show that you can catch the ball with some consistency. And that's good that he got a workout with the Saints. They usually do it. They call it the 30. So they go work out, during this 30-day period leading up to the draft. So that's good. And hopefully he has more workouts to go to showcase his talent for a team.
B Watts, when it come to Mr. Sheppard, he had a hard time, to me, when it pertained to he did well pertaining to he was the third. Really, he might have been the fourth. It might have been the fourth wheel because they tried to get Jimmy off more than Will at times, because if Jimmy would have been healthier, Jimmy would have got off a whole lot more because they were ready for that. But with that being said, being the fourth wheel, man, and you used to be the man, sit next to the man, that's hard. And you looking over there and you looking like, man, I ain't even touching this ball. When I finally get the ball, it finally come my way. I'm not focused. I think for Will needs to show teams he's focused. He wants this. He's dedicated to it. He's definitely going to have to work on that speed. Speed is important, because if you can't get no separation, man, it makes you a one-trick pony. It just makes you a one-trick pony where they just going to use you by the end zone. So for him, he has done it in the SEC, so he can do it in those back shoulder catches. He's fantastic with that. For me, I just think Will needs to be focused, and Will needs to go in there. I think he needs to drop a few pounds and lighten himself up a little bit and utilize his speed. Because one thing I can show you that NFL is going to thrive off is that catch that he did, that bomb that he caught from Shedeur over that two players. Now that was a catch. That was a catch. When you can show something like that, and you can show in the end zone that you can score like that, they're going to give him a shot. And playing in the SEC, so I'm happy for Will. But Will has to show he wants it. And to me, that's what I need to see, because Will, one of them cool brother, he get in there, Will be looking at you like, Will, you woke? Are we woke? Will be over there, yeah, man, I'm cool. I'm cool like that. So to me, that's all I need to see, and Will's going to be fine. Back to you, B. Watts.
I got one thing to add, B. Watts. One thing that come to mind when I think about Will Sheppard. So it was on one, I believe it was like a well-off clip. And Will was like, man, I rolled my ankle. And Shedeur was like, man, can you play or what? Like, so there goes, because I see a few people. Somebody in the chat said, like, man, Will soft to me. And it made me think about that. Like, Shedeur was like, man, can you play or what? Like, I ain't trying to hear about your ankle, dog. Can you go or what? So that'll be some things that will definitely have to overcome. He will have to show some toughness. And Uncle Steve said, getting off the line. There was a few games, especially when I went to in person, he had a problem getting off the line. So he'll have to showcase that at the pro day as well.
That's the issue with most of them wide receivers, man. They couldn't get off the line of scrimmage. That's what I keep trying to tell you, man. Even this thing, upcoming season, I see some stuff, man, that question me about the wide receiver group. But they got some players on that team that can get off. They just freshmen, When you look at TT, they call him, he can't get off the line of scrimmage. That guy. And it's different when you play a team. No, don't turn your tail on this one. It's different when you playing a team, your opposition is trying to keep you from coming out the line of scrimmage than going up against your twos, the 1 and 2. When you play another team, they trying to bring that back. They trying to eat too. So that's the key thing I'm gonna be looking at. But you made a point here. He did have a problem getting out the line of scrimmage, but that one game he can hang his hat on. It's 2 games. When he went up against Florida at Vanderbilt, and that UCF game when he caught that catch, like Steve said. He got that on his record. But some things do stand out about his game, that them drop passes, his speed, that 40 he got. I know you said speed don't matter. He gonna have to work on that 40. He up there now with Coach Swayze. Maybe Swayze can help him out with that 40 in this little shorter time. They all should have stayed with Swayze, really, just like Shiloh did. But hey, it's late in the game now. But I'm glad the New Orleans Saints reached out to him to give him a workout. So, do y'all see him getting drafted?
I don't. Look, prototypical size 6'3", 200 plus pound guy. I mean, he fit the
It might work
NFL
out better for
measurables.
him not getting drafted. He
You
probably
said
go where
what?
she do it.
Yeah, I mean, it probably would be best for him to go
I mean, if you ain't
undrafted.
gonna get drafted in the 5th round, you just gonna wait to get me 6 or 7. You have to get my money down. I think one of y'all was
Yeah,
saying that. But leave me alone.
yeah,
Yeah, let me go keep my spot.
let me
You
go
ain't gonna
undrafted.
do nothing but cut me anyway.
You got to
You
think.
gonna cut me, put me on special team. You ain't gonna let me be no wide receiver.
Yeah, you got to think. Xavier Weaver was, one of the top performers for the program last year when it came to the wide receiver. He didn't get drafted, and they're in that same bill. Will Sheppard a little bit taller than him, but they're in that same bill. Productivity for Will wasn't like screaming, draft me, draft me. I mean, he caught almost 50 balls, but that's not screaming draft me. But overall, I can see him being undrafted, an undrafted guy, and then fighting his way to get on the roster.
No
Okay.
knock. It's money, B.
No,
Watts.
no knock on him now.
No, it's no knock
know.
on it, and I know you're not. I know you're not. You're just going with the facts and how the leaves are going right now. The tea leaves are going. The way I see it is this one here. If you're not going to be drafted in the 5th round, I'm like, leave me alone. Let me choose which team that really needs me and provides me an opportunity to make a business decision where I can go to that team, because now I can look at teams and say, this team here is weak at receivers, and I could definitely get a spot on this here team. And now I don't have number 2. I can do a 2-year contract, and after my first year, I can renegotiate right then. If I outplay my contract, I can get signed for a nice piece of money. So those are the things that I look at, instead of somebody owning your rights, and you can't do nothing. It's up to the team to decide what they're going to do with you. So those are things I look at. But back to you, B. Watts.
Hey, that's the point. Yeah, you're right. Like I said, I ain't knocking on it. It can help him better than hurt him by going undrafted. All right. We're talking about Shedeur Sanders, the best quarterback in the draft. Now, Cam Ward, pro day, I had to look at that another way. I said, dog, boy, he slaying that rock like that. Okay, boy, woo-wee. But coming down to Shedeur, when I look at and you look at where he now came from, Jackson State, Colorado, he's a winner. His toughness, arm strength. A lot of people question his arm strength. I think he got a good arm strength. He got a decent arm strength to play in the NFL. I think he's a franchise quarterback. I think he can help a team. I hear a lot of people are saying they would like for him to sit 1 year. It's going to be hard to sit 1 year if you get drafted by Tennessee and Cleveland or Las Vegas Raiders. I just hope whoever he go to got a good offensive line. They ain't necessarily got to have a good wide receiver group, because he can pick up Will Sheppard or him, Jim Horn, if they don't get drafted. I ain't looking at that. He going to need a good left tackle to keep him off the ground, keep him from getting hurt, because there's grown men out there. You go out there doing this, it's somebody out there going to try to show you up, boy. Them grown men. Yeah, you can't go out there playing with these boys in there. I'm trying. Help me now. Help me. Don't get upset. It's some people out there. You already done seen the post. I seen a post over there on X about 2 hours ago. They was a picture of Shedeur walking toward them, and the comment, one of the Giant players said, "Man, we gonna bust him up." A player. I'm serious. I'm gonna take it to y'all as soon as I get up. But when you look at he tough. That's one thing I like about he tough. He don't prove to me he can take hits and get back up and throw a strike. He got a lot of confidence, and he's gonna have to bag up that confidence. Now, to me personally, I know a lot of people wanted him to go to New York Giants. I didn't, because of the media. It's just too big. Because you go out there and mess up in New York, boy, he thought he was getting ridiculed. He was gonna sure enough get ridiculed in a big market. That's why I like him in Tennessee or Cleveland. It's a small market. Can go out there and do his thing. He ain't gonna be criticized that hard. And I'm telling you, get around the right coach, right offensive line. Come on, let's be honest. ever since two been playing quarterback, has he ever had a good offensive line? Other than Jackson State last year with that one running back that ran 1,000. I'm just saying, come on. Give him a good offensive line, a decent offensive line. And I think he'll do good. But with all said, Shedeur Sanders, Steve talked to us about the pro day that he can do. I ain't that near too much he can do. But help the wide receiver. That's the only thing I see him doing in the pro day right now. Everything gonna take. We know who two is. Talk to us about two.
Well, I'm just going to talk to you about it. You know, everybody call him, you know, the parents call him Shedeur Sanders. I call him two. And I call him two for a reason, because he is second to none. Second to none is two. And you got to look at it. The man threw for 4,134 passing yards, 37 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. And the magic is two is this here. His QBR, 75.5. Let's say that again, 75.5. And the beauty is this one here. He had somebody named Johnny Unitas because he won that Golden Arm Award. You know, that's just the best quarterback in college football, basically. What you have to do is this one here for two. He has a high IQ. He's accurate. He's tough. And he shines when the game is on the line. That's when he shines. That's the beauty of it. Two's numbers are higher at the end of the game than the first three quarters. When it's time to determine the W's and the L's, that's when two shows up. Now, two has to clean up on some stuff. Two needs, if two was a lot like Juju, one thing I give Juju credit for, Juju drops that ball off. He drops it down. Juju ain't waiting for no long routes. Juju drops that ball down, and if two don't let two, Coach Prime, his father needs to show him something. If I was to speak to two, I would do two like this one here. I would put him in a room. I would go on a big whiteboard. On the whiteboard, I'll put quarterbacks and salaries up there. And I put $300,000, $350,000 for Allen. And you keep going. Then you're going to have somebody 400,000. I'm sorry, 400 million, 380 million for Allen. Then you're going to have the next quarterback going to get 400 million. I'm putting those numbers on the board. I'm putting Kirk Cousins has made almost close to $500 million since he's been in the NFL. Kirk Cousins is really his career, one of the highest paid quarterbacks in NFL history is Kirk Cousins, the money that he's made. All I'm saying is this one here. It's not smart to take those hits. If you want to be where you need to be, have longevity, win, because those guys out there, they're jealous. They're jealous. They hate to see young men come in like too confident and has the influence that he has and to do the thing and to have the young kids, all the Shedeur. People don't like that, man. You got some people that really are going to take some shots at it. And he has to understand it's not cool taking those shots. I'm from Mississippi, and Steve McNair was my man. Steve McNair took shots he should have never took. He took hits that he should have never taken. And with that being said, I don't want to see two do that. Two, you got money on the when Rob Livingston says money on the floor, it's money on that floor. And you don't want to be on the floor getting picked up because you want to show that you tough and you can go down that field. And his daddy needs to tell him that, cut that out. That's the only thing, cut that out. If he cut that out, everything's going to be fine. Get that ball to that running back. Let the running back take the hits. You do play action, hit it over the middle and go for that. But let me get back to two. When it comes to the NFL, two needs to be in an environment. I like what you said. The only thing I disagree with you, New York is not too big for two. That's when he shines. Because what you got to realize, New York ain't won nothing. When was the last time the Giants won something? They looking for a winner. It's just like the Knicks. Look at the Knicks. When that boy point guard came to the Knicks and started doing their thing, you know what happened? Oh, they don't win a lot of games. You know, they are a winning team now, but they ain't like they winning a championship. When you lose all the time, when you get anybody that can make you relevant, they're going to love him. They're going to love to. They want to be relevant in New York. First it's going to come be relevant, and after be relevant, then they're going to be looking, now we want to go playoffs and Super Bowl. So with that being said, I don't see New York being a problem. But I love what you said when you said a smaller market, because of the smaller market, it takes a lot of stress off him, where he can come in, handle his business, and then go from there, just be a professional. But with all that being said, two can sit back, kick his feet up, and eat some almond nuts if he want to, or whatever he wants to do, or almond bar if he want to. His tape says it all. He's the best of the best. And what I like about him is this. This is the one thing, and I'm gonna let it go with this one. You said it yourself, B. Watts. He has not had a running game since he's been at CU, and he hasn't had a very successful offensive line. When you have those two things and you're still successful and you still have the highest QBR in college football, and you play better as the game goes on, that says everything I need to see. Because if you put two, let me tell people this one here. If you put two with Oregon, with that Oregon team, they win the national championship easily. And I say national championship. Put them with Oregon, they win the national championship. Put them with Ohio State, they lose no games. It's no contest in either game because of what two can do with those running backs. So with that being said, man, he is the undisputed best quarterback in this NFL draft. Back to you, B-Wise.
Yeah, that's a good point. Reason I was saying I didn't like him in New York if I was on the media. Because they're going to lose. Who they going to blame it on? Gonna blame it on him. That's what I'm saying. They gonna blame it on him. All right, I see my light blinking on the laptop. I forgot to plug my laptop up, man. All right, let me hurry up before I go out. Yeah, always something. It always something. Yeah, I forgot to plug. I forgot to send y'all the link. Y'all know that.
Can't get right. Hey.
Can't get right this week.
Can't get right.
I said, man. Hey, I was sitting online. I said, let me wait to see if they're going to pop up. I said, man, at 8 o'clock, they ain't popped up. JR didn't text. The other can't get right. Part 2. No link. Man, I said, God, I just got home, man.
Hey, JR, listen to what he said. He just got home. So what that tells you, his boo got him out. So he out there with his boo and not taking care of his job. Handle your business there, young man.
Booed up.
JR, what BJ Green got to do in this pro day to get drafted, bro? Steve crazy, man.
What BJ Green got to do to get drafted or at the pro day? It'd be great if he could grow.
Pro day really ain't built for him.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be great. Look, it'd be great if BJ Green could grow 3-4 inches before the 4th April. If BJ Green woke up and BJ Green was 6'4", this wouldn't be an issue. He would get drafted. So, look, BJ Green will at this Colorado Pro Day. He's gonna have to show.
Time out. I can't let you
time out. Thank you, B-Wise.
I wish he could grow. He said, I wish he could grow at a CU Pro Bowl.
What do you think the man is a gremlin? What do you think he put water on him? He a gremlin, he can grow? Come on, JR. Come on, man.
What I said was that. No, look. What
get that spinach there. Get a muffin.
What I'm saying is that you have to the NFL is a game of measurables. It's a game of measurables. They'll look at a guy and they'll take a chance on a guy because of measurables. You can look at his productivity all throughout college and be like, oh well, all right, well, he didn't really produce, but he's a hell of a specimen, because they're trying to mirror like somebody else. Like I see people in the chat saying, somebody said John Randall. He was 5'11", 6 foot, but okay. But we're talking about John Randall, a Hall of Famer. John Randall's a Hall of Famer. He was exceptional at what he did. Now I'm not saying BJ Green cannot be exceptional once he gets to the NFL. I'm not saying that by any mean or any stretch. But what I'm saying is that he's already battling behind the power curve when it comes to NFL evaluators. That's all I'm simply saying. So if BJ Green showed up to Colorado Pro Day and he was 6'4", be like, dang, 6'4", and you ran 4.7, and you did this, man, he gonna get drafted. Like that's automatic. But with BJ Green being a shorter guy, he had great productivity at Arizona State. He could have just went out of Arizona State. He had 8 sacks that year. This year, I think he had 3, maybe 4 sacks, something like that. So his productivity took a dip, but there's other ways to show productivity. So he'll have to be very, very great in those individual drills when it comes to how he positions his body, when he's doing the mat drills, when he's doing speed drills, showing his footwork, going about showing his natural ability, because he is shorter stature for a traditional prototype defensive end. Now, you have your outliers out there in the NFL that get it done, but in a traditional sense, in a prototypical sense, BJ Green is not a prototypical defensive end. That's all I'm saying. But he'll go out to the pro day and he'll perform well. He ran a good time at the Big 12 pro day. Run that same time if you're going to run the 40 again. He might not even run the 40 again. He may be advised not to run the 40. Might say 4.7 is good enough. Now let me show you some strength to power, some speed to power kind of drills to get himself even better, in a better position to either be a late round guy or early on somebody's radar when it comes to being undrafted. But I'm not dogging on BJ Green. I'm just saying the NFL is a game of measurables. It is. You look at an NFL roster now and you look up height, weight comparisons for defensive ends and things like that, you're not going to see too many 6-foot defensive ends in the NFL. That's just the way it is. I didn't make the rules. I just watched the game and I'm giving my opinion. It's to you, B. Watts.
Steve, DJ8 said, can they play him at linebacker, or would you play him at linebacker?
Let's put it this way. Not only would I play him at linebacker, I'm gonna play him at special teams. I'm gonna play him at edge rusher. You can put him all over the field because of the fact that his speed. What you need to see from BJ is this here, his motor. The only thing that hurt BJ was his motor. And it wasn't this year was his motor. I'm talking about his previous years, because he had some tape at Arizona State that he was loafing a little bit. And that's going to hurt him. That's going to hurt him a little bit because of the fact that those NFL teams are going to go, they ain't going to just look at Colorado. They're going to go back. A smart team is going to go back and look at the other one. But a real smart team is going to sit down with them and talk to him and get some whys and go over it with them. Say, we saw this here. Can you explain this here? But at Colorado, your motor was endless, when it pertained to that. So, JR, you're right when it pertains to what the NFL. But when you said the man need to take row, I'm like, come on, man. Come on, man. Now we're going to get sponsored by row that men need to take that so they can grow. You can't do that, man. You can't do it. You can't do it. It just ain't right. The man ain't got to do that. The man don't have to take the row. But getting back to him is this one here. He needs to, what Green needs to do is this one here. Green's going to make a team, and Green's going to make a team if he shows this, his willingness to go and do anything the team wants him to do. Because if you look, people put Harrison in there, but Harrison did special teams. Harrison ran down on almost killed some people on special teams, and he never gave up. His dream was the NFL. He got cut like 3 times by the Steelers, but he kept coming back. He went to another team, and Pittsburgh traded again and brought him back. So with all that being said, is this one here. BJ Green is going to have to prove to NFL teams he loves football, and he's willing to do anything to make a team. And if he does that, he's going to be very successful. But if he goes in there thinking that his numbers and stuff is going to do it, I'm here to tell you, the SEC had a player that was the defensive player of the year, but because of his orientation, the guy didn't even make the NFL. He didn't make a team. And I've never seen a SEC defensive player of the year not make an NFL team. That just don't happen. You just don't see it. So all I'm saying is he's going to have to show them that he has a desire and he loves football. Back to you, B-Watts.
Yeah. I see him get drafted, y'all. I'm just being honest. I got him down as my last player for Colorado to get drafted. I just like the way he came out the end, edge, and I believe Rob Livingston, Warren Sapp making them calls for him. And go back to what JR saying. JR has hung his hat on measurement. I don't know if he want to do to be a modeler. I don't know if he want to go to a strip club and say, we need to see your measurement or what. I don't know what he want to be, a dancer. Yeah. I don't know what JR want to do.
But B-Watts, this is one time JR is really telling the truth though.
Oh, I already know. I'm just messing with him.
I know you're messing with him, but the NFL is so the NFL is so short-sighted. All they see things, it reminds me of something I used to see in books. They look at people's teeth, they look at people's jaw, they look at people's eyes, they look at their hands, they look at their feet. That's what they do. And that's all they know. They do not, and this is for football people. All these people talking about how much they know football, they don't. They don't know too much football, because if you knew football, you can look at tape and you can actually go to games and you can see people who can play, because they pop. People who can play pop. You like, that guy's different. And when you see that, you know that person can play. And I'm talking about against top competition when they do it. So with that being said, I see BJ Green getting drafted because it's some smart GMs out there, and he has those variables that I can put him on special teams and that I can move him around, especially with the Houston Texans, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that division, even with the Baltimore Ravens, because they got those big defensive tackles. You can put a person like his size out there and hide them, and they can make a lot of plays. So with that being said, I see some good stuff for him. Back to you, B-Watts.
All right, we're moving on. All right, let's go to Cameron Silmon-Craig to safety. I like Cam. I like his attitude, I like his work ethic. I know a lot of people gonna say about his size and hear what JR can get back on his measurement when his time comes. But the dude got fighting, Steve. He got something inside of him that he wanna make it. The last game of the season, regular season. He knew that was his last game in Colorado against Oklahoma State. That stadium cleared out. He the only one on the field, sitting at the 50-yard line. And that's thanking. Boy, he came out and told you, I put it all on the line. Now I got to see what's ahead of him. What can he do in Colorado Pro Day to make him more noticeable for this upcoming NFL draft?
To me, Pro Day is not a thing for him. And the reason I say that is this one here. His speed and things like that, his play on the field says it all. And for him, what he has is this here. The advantage he has is this. He has two coaches that love him, that admire him. When you got Coach Livingston and Coach Prime and Coach Mathis, I'm gonna say the triplets, when you got that kind of credibility and your play, and let's go here. He's a leader. He's the hardest work on the field. He's a coach's dream as a player. His reliability, his versatility in space when it comes to stopping the run, being able to place him in the box. He's a football. This is something about this man. You don't hear too many people. He's a football player. That's different. Right. And his relationship with coaches. Now, this is where it's going to get interesting for him. Even if he don't get drafted, he's the one player that's going to make a team. And he's going to make a team because of this. Coach Prime is going to call Jerry Jones. Rob Livingston is going to call the Cincinnati Bengals, who were one of the worst defense, and all their money gone on offense. So they're going to need safeties and cornerbacks dirt cheap. So they're going to get free agents. Dallas salary cap is blown out the water. They're going to need players that can play special teams. He's a special team player. He's going to be special on special teams because he'll be on all the special teams. Now you'll have it where he'll be that backup safety back there where he's backing them up in case your safety get hurt. But he's the type that's going to take over for your safety because as soon as he get in that game, it's over then. He'll be in there. When you have coaches that are going to go to bat for you like they're going to go to bat for Cam because he deserved it, he earned it. They trust him and they know that he has what it takes. That is going to be the key for that young man. And let's tell all the young people this one here. It ain't always talent, people. It's that man loves football. That man, when he goes out there, he's one guy that if he played football and that was his last game, you're going to say he gave it all. He gave it his all. And that's what coaches are going to go to bat for him. And you're going to see him on an NFL team when it's all said and done. And I congratulate you, Cam, and all these other people who are bigger, stronger, faster. I'm going to say, what's your problem? Because you might be at the house while that young man there is on a team making it happen. Back to you, B. Watts.
All right, we're moving on. Next player, Shiloh Sanders, the hardest hitting safety in the draft, one of the best safety in the draft. I gave it to JR. I didn't want Steve to get it because he probably had some reflex from his boy. Didn't hit the field because Shiloh was injured. So I had him down. I thought about it. I said, oh hell no, I can't get Steve Shiloh. Can't get them. Stoudemire would have came out. He would start talking about Stoudemire. When you look at Shiloh, Swayze got him right. The boy finna run a 4-4 on y'all in this pro day. Talk to me about Shiloh, JR.
Look, before I get into the deep end about Shiloh, let me correct myself. Let me give BJ Green all his credit. He had 7.5 sacks. I think I said like 3 or 4, something like that. He had 7.5 sacks, y'all. All right, Shiloh Sanders. For Shiloh, for Headache Gang, Mr. CEO himself, go out there and play fast. That's the knock on Shiloh. Game speed and things like that. Even though the previous year he caught an interception and took it all the way to the house. And I want to say they did the analytics, kind of thing when they played against Colorado State. And they say he hit a top speed of like 21 miles per hour, somewhere around there. So, I mean, obviously, he can run. Can he do it consistently? I've seen an improvement from kind of the takeoff with Coach Swayze and that 40 and things like that. He looks explosive coming out in those first 10 yards and things like that. So I really hope it translates to a great time for him in a 40. If Shiloh can run somewhere, 4.52, something like that, I think that's a great time for Shiloh. And I think that will help him even more in his ability of being drafted. Definitely do some tackling drills during the pro day. Do some tackling drills. Show them that you can tackle, you can wrap up and things like that. Look, we like it. As a fan, I like it. Boom, hit him with the shoulder, knock him out, Headache Gang and all that stuff. But in the NFL, it's few and far in between. You're going to get somebody down with just your shoulder. So definitely some tackling drills, that 40-yard dash. I think, oh, come on. What'd I say now? What'd I say wrong now, B. Watts?
You say you want to do some tackling drills. Tell me a safety in the last 10 years you don't see him wrap up and bring somebody down. That's naming me just one. Come on, Jay.
I mean,
okay, it's taking you too long. You can't name that.
All right, let me name you one. He was a rookie. He played for the Houston Texans. Kalen Bullock. He came from USC. And USC had a terrible defense. But he was a for sure tackler for the Texans this year.
He locked up. He wrapped his arm. A safety.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it.
Google
You
it.
gotta find it.
Kalen Bullock, Houston, Texas, number 21. But that's what I would say for Shiloh. You know, look, we know he can tackle. Show it. We've seen you miss tackle. We've seen you make big hits and all of that stuff like that. But when a team is investing in you, they want to know for sure. B. Watts, if somebody was coming to work on your house, you probably gonna do all the research you want to do on them before they come work up in that nice house you got, right? You ain't gonna be like, well, nah, I mean, I think this guy can. These NFL teams want to know. It's an investment. It is. Oh, Lord. What I say?
Shiloh played at South Carolina, Jackson State. His first year in Colorado, all them tackles he got on tape. And you going off Kansas State game when he missed a couple tackles. He got shook. He did that. But this dude got okay. I mean, hey.
Look.
I don't know. I should have kept Shiloh. I should have gave that to you.
Look, I'm not saying Shiloh not gonna get drafted. What I'm saying, you asked me what are some things that he should do at the pro day to improve his draft stock. Those are
they don't do no tackling drills at no pro day.
Look, whatever he got to do, those are just things that I'm thinking that he should work on. So if it's mobility drills, if it's mat drills, whatever the case may be, whatever translates to showing your aggressiveness, your tackling ability, your angles and things like that. To me, I think that's something that Shiloh has to show. Not only just the 40, but I think he needs to show those things as well to make sure to solidify that, hey, I'm a stamped player. I'm a draftable player. Your organization needs to pick me. That's what I think he needs to do. But Shiloh has had a phenomenal career. Like you said, he got a scholarship to play in the SEC, South Carolina. That's great. He went to Jackson State. He was a player that left the SEC and went to the SWAC to play. So the talent was already there. He was more talented than most of the players in the in the SWAC. That's just an honest truth, B. Watts. Come on now. Hey, you're not gonna pick a lot of players out of the SWAC and say they going to go play in the SEC. That's just not happening. So Shiloh already had that upper hand. He got to the Pac-12. He played great. I thought Shiloh should have went out last year to the draft. He had 4 forced fumbles, interception for a touchdown. He had over 50 plus tackles. I think he should have went out last year. He came back this year. He got hurt, and then he had to work himself back into it. But I think Shiloh is a draftable player. Things he needs to show at the combine, at the pro day for me, run a good 40 time, a decent 40 time, and then whatever mat drills or field drills they want him to show, because that's what the NFL teams are going to want to see. They're going to want to see that. That's my opinion. That's my opinion.
All right, before you go, Steve, before you go. Miss B said flag on the play, JR.
Oh,
flag
Lord.
On the play. TM say, one of the best shows out there. Laugh.
Appreciate
and here goes
that.
the one that takes the cake. Who does tackling drill? Let it come by. It's JR, y'all.
They do equivalent drills. They do equivalent drills. I'm just saying they do equivalent drills. I ain't saying he got to physically tackle somebody.
That's what the film is for, to see tackling. Y'all get on it.
They do equivalent drills. Equivalent. That's what I said. Equivalent drills.
These women are beating you like a government mule. They ride you like a government mule.
Look.
And I blame you, B. Watts, because you made the decision to put him in there with Shiloh just because you were, and you got what you got. And you gonna learn the next time. You gonna learn because JR sitting up there. He got to have his tape measures. He got people taking rope hills. He got people growing. He got people tackling drills. And Nail, boy, she just hit it. Then who does tackling drills? What?
I
Come on,
said
JR.
tackling
Who does tackling
equivalent drills. Tackling equivalent.
Hey.
Look,
What combine you at?
Hey,
I guarantee you, when we
Ship
watch that
JR to
Big 12,
Beijing.
somebody
Goodness
said ship
gracious.
him to Beijing. Ship.
Hey,
I
Ice coming to
guarantee
his
you,
house.
I
Ice coming to his
guarantee you,
house.
I guarantee you, when we watch the Big 12 Pro Day, because I'm pretty sure most of us, and I know us on the panel, we're going to watch. I know most of us in the chat will be watching the Big 12 Pro Day as well. I guarantee you, outside of the
JR.
40, Shiloh will be
JR.
doing a bevy of field drills that equates or is
JR.
equivalent to tackling drills
JR.
when it comes to that Big 12, when it comes to that Big Pro Day.
JR.
I'm just saying it right now. I'm saying it. Watch.
We still
Watch.
digging.
Watch.
The Undertaker.
Steve,
Watch.
what Block Bully got to do?
To me, honestly, for Block Bully,
What
Block
do the
Bully,
Block Bully got to do?
Block Bully. To me, he's not going to have to show anything during their pro day. And the reason I say that is because his tape says it all. His tape says that he's an anchor in that middle. His tape says that he's doable. His tape says that he's a run stopper. His tape shows that he's dependable. His tape shows that he has raw power. His tape shows that he is a playmaker. His tape shows that Colorado didn't go unless the Block Bully was in that middle. If you look at that tape, when the Block Bully wasn't there for that game, it didn't look good. I don't care what nobody said. It was a big difference. It was players had to play a whole lot harder than it was when he's in there. So for me, that pro day means nothing because he's gonna lift the gym when it comes to his strength, and his tape shows everything you need to. They just need to go play the tape when Houston took on the Texas Longhorns, and his tape shows that he was taking on two of Texas' biggest players, and he held his ground and he made plays. All he needs to do is when he gets into camp, he's gonna show them that it ain't the fighting, it ain't the dog size of the dog, but it's the fighting the dog. And that dog got some fighting him. That young man got some fighting him. So with that, and what I love about the Block Bully, he has a purpose. He has a beautiful little daughter that he's playing his butt off to get her future, to get her set up for the future. So when you got to come home and you look at your baby girl and you saying, hey, I'm doing this for her. It's hard to stop a man like that from making an NFL team because you might be playing for some shoes and some the strip club and everything else, the glamour. He's playing for a purpose, his family, his daughter, his child. And that's hard to beat a man like that. That's a dangerous man. So with that being said, I look forward to the Block Bully. He just needs to get on a team. And once he's on that team, he's going to make the plays because you're not moving him. And back to you, B-Watch.
I agree to 100% on that, Steve. I like that ball you throw in about that daughter. He playing for that. I got two more names. We got 3 minutes to get off. Justin Myers, JR.
Simply, he probably won't be drafted to the NFL. I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but he probably not gonna get drafted to the NFL. I'll just leave it at that. Because look, they beat me up in the chat. I don't want to go through another situation calling out there, but he probably won't be drafted. But whatever he can do at the pro day to show his worth, that's what he needs to do. But he probably will not be drafted.
Think he catch on the team after the draft?
It's a possibility. You get a workout or something like that. But when he didn't, to me, throughout the year, he didn't do anything exceptionally well. So he didn't do anything that jumped off on the film. Like when we think, Uncle Steve said all the time, when you saw Jordan Seaton, boom, he shot off the ball, boom, he fielded his person, boom, he kick stepped it. All of those things, like you can look at Jordan Seaton and be like, that's a draftable guy. I didn't see that with Justin Mayers. And there's no shade to him or anything like that. I just didn't see it. So I see him as an undrafted guy. he'll probably get called in somebody's camp because you can't coach size. He got the size. Will he be able to stick on a roster? That remains to be seen. So I hope the best for him. That's what I can say.
Steve, Shane Coates.
Shane Coates, what we're going to say is Shane Coates is a leader. He has a high IQ. He's dependable. And what I will say, he has a high motor. Something about Shane Coates is this one here. Shane Coates is smart. Boy, he got that Ivy League degree. So he's one of those people, regardless, he going to land on his feet. But I went and got a player that really reminds me of a Shane Coates. And he played out of position. You know, he should have been on that end because of what he could do, because he didn't have the size initially to play defensive tackle, but he did well considering Colorado needed him to play that 2 years ago, and then this year he stayed with it. To me, I would have put him on the edge to go, and I think he'd have been more effective on the edge, especially stopping the run and things like that. But with that being said, Dietrich Wise played for the New England Patriots, and he was 6'5", 270, 278, and he stayed in the league for about 10 years. And he stayed in the league for 10 years because he got a coach that was smart and that could utilize him. Everything here we're talking about today goes with the team. It's the organization and the team that has to develop the talent, has to put people around the talent in order to make the talent grow. Even with Travis, if you don't put special people around Travis and put him in the right environment, you're not going to get the best out of Travis. Travis is going to be outstanding anyway, but I'm talking about greatness. To get greatness, you need to put him in the right environment around the right people and culture, and then go from there. So I love Shane Coates. I think he's a fantastic person. He's going to get an opportunity to go as an undrafted free agent, and he's one of those guys that if he don't make the team, he can fall back on that Ivy League degree and just have an outstanding time, or he could be a coach somewhere. Great job, Shane Coates. You dedicated, and you were selfless to play that position that you should have been on the other end, and I salute you.
Yeah, I agree with you about that degree. Georgia Power right down the street from that stadium they play in. And yeah, he ain't get drafted. Yeah. But when you look at I got two more. listen.
JR, now he bust your head for saying
bro,
somebody ain't gonna get drafted. And he comes 3 seconds later. Oh, he didn't get drafted.
The way B. Watts presented it, I agree with you, Steve. I agree with you, Steve. I mean, he got that degree. He ain't getting drafted. Like, God, that's cold. B. Watts, you cold-blooded, man.
Hey, I just said, hey, Georgia, he said about the degree, Georgia Power right down the street, bro. Check this out, bro. Yeah, when you look at Harn Smith, the workout he did, he looked good out there at Big 12 Pro Day.
Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people can look good in shorts and shirts. He's an athlete. Herm Smith is an athlete. The productivity just not there. So it's unfortunate for him. I bet he's probably looking back on his collegiate career wishing like, man, I wish I could have had more opportunities. It's behind you now. It's what can you do with what's in front of you. So Herm Smith needs to go out there, what he did in the Big 12 Pro Day, do better at the Colorado Pro Day. So at the Big 12 combine that they had, hey, that's great. That's a great marker for you to plant your flag on. Now you need to go to the Pro Day, do better, because all it takes is one. That's all it takes is one team to believe in you. That's it. For them to bring you in and you have a heck of an opportunity. Look, what was the guy, Cruz? What was the name that played for the New York Giants?
Jose, what's the name? Yeah, Cruz, the receiver.
Yeah,
we know you're talking about.
Yeah,
Cruz.
So look, he was a guy that wasn't drafted, played at Temple. Right. Yeah, the dance. Yeah, he wasn't a guy that played or didn't get drafted or anything like that. but he came in, he took advantage of an opportunity, and there was no way that the New York Giants could cut him when it came to that 53-man roster. So for Herm Smith, a guy like that, look, if he goes to the Colorado Pro Day and he just blow it out the water, he go out there and, do some great stuff. All it takes is one team, because you're going to have probably all 32 teams there, because you got Travis, you got Shedeur. So the stage is set. All you need to do is show what you can do. One team, all it takes is one team. Hey, man, I like this guy. Got some good productivity, got good size on him, blah, 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 whatever. They invite you, you go undrafted, you get invited, you work out, and you find a way to stick on the team. But, unfortunately, when you start adding up all the things, there's a lot of things that's working against Herm Smith, more so working for him. But he has to go and just build off of what he did at the Big 12 Pro Day.
All right, last one, Steve. We covered all 12 persons. He go to the last 13. The punter, Nate. Nate, what you think about Nate?
Well, what you talking about, mate? About Mate's gonna have to do with everybody else. Mate has a wonderful opportunity because he can really kick that ball. And plus he also has it where he has some productive numbers when it pertains to his punts. So if what I see with him, and they're drafting kickers and punters now. So they really draft these guys because they realize how important they are. And if he gets in there and he shows that, hey, that he's going to put that foot in there and he can get that ball within the 10-yard line and within the 5, he's going to do well. And what you have with him is this here. He's up there in Colorado. You got them Broncos, so they should definitely be out there saying, hey, we've seen him and he's up here in this altitude. We want to keep Mate up here. And with the relationship that Coach Prime has with Sean Payton and various teams, he's the type of guy that I'm like, hey, you watch football and you like, man, all them kicks that come off the side of people's foot, he's the kind of guy like, hey, we can come bring him in here, pay him a biscuit and some jelly and some sausage, and we can have him for nothing. So with that being said, I like Mate, and I can see him on an NFL team easily. Back to you, B. Watts.
All right. Appreciate you guys. That's the show tonight. Want to thank everybody for tuning in to Sports Talk with B. Watts. We talked about Colorado Pro Day coming up on April 4th, right there on the NFL Network. We got Uncle Steve and J.R. Boxing. We appreciate each and one of you. If you don't mind, once again, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, and hit that bell notification. It'll let you know whenever we go live or drop a video. If you don't mind, once the video is posted, go over, make a comment, and we will be glad that you make that comment so you can keep that broadcast in the algorithm, and we appreciate it. Once again, tune in tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I'll be solo. Thursday night, Greg said it with JR Boxing. Saturday night, I'll be solo again. And on Sunday, Coach Dre. All right, JR, give your last word, and we out of here. You at Uncle Steve. Steve in that dancing move.
Look, again, B. Watts, man, thanks for the platform, man. Thanks for curating a great environment. Great questions tonight, B. Watts, man. Loved it, man. Uncle Steve, salute to you. It's always nice being on the panel with y'all and everybody in the chat. Even though y'all was on my butt like pockets tonight, I'm telling y'all, JR know what he talking about, man. So look, salute to y'all. Appreciate the love, man. And again, it's always nice catching up with the fellas.
Well, I'm going to say, hey, it's always nice. I will say this special shout out, and that's for the young lady, Juju, who had that terrible injury last night. I was sad to see that, but we're going to send prayers out for her that she get that healing and she come back tougher and better than ever when it pertains to her game. What I also would say is this one here. It just lets people know. You never know when it's going to be that time where something could happen that could be your last game or whatever the case may be. So that's why in life, live life to the fullest. Make sure life don't owe me anything because I'm going to get everything out of it. I'm going to squeeze it like a lemon. JR, I learned tonight that with you, size matters. You know, I get it. Size matters to you. You definitely, boy. You know, now I can understand asking a woman the question, does size matter? She's supposed to say it does, and if she tell you it don't, well, it must be somebody beside her if she say it don't. But that's something different. But God bless everybody. Everybody out there in the chat, we appreciate you. It is a pleasure coming on here. Good people, y'all awesome. And I love the way y'all whoop on JR. If JR say something wrong, y'all ladies, boy, I tell you, I feel for y'all men, because the way y'all whoop JR, y'all used to doing that. Y'all used to whooping that tail. And y'all do a good job of it. So B-Watts, is always a pleasure. Enjoy yourself. You got a great group of men and women on your chat. And let's keep doing what we're doing. Back to you, B-Watts.
All right, fellas, y'all have a good night. And I appreciate you once again. You watching Sports Talk with B-Watts. About this is
Put them boots on the ground. Put them boots on the ground.
boots on the ground.
Where them fans at?